Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining me live here. We are going to kind of look through our old Aurifill blocks that we worked on all throughout the year in 2020. We have 12 blocks, one for each month last year. We need to figure out how to get these in a quilt. So I thought today we could do some quilt designing, try some things out, basically draw on some paper, take a look at these quilt blocks and come up with a plan to sew this in a quilt, and then we'll start that tomorrow. We'll work on that for the rest of the week. This is our free week, so this is where we can kind of work on anything we want in the month. The free week, the fourth week of the month, is what we have set aside for that. So thanks for joining me here. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together here. So again, thanks for hopping in, everyone. We are going to be looking back at the Aurifill blocks and thinking about how we want to design this thing. So let's get going here. All right, hello everyone. So I have I rejiggered this project, meaning I just took it out of the giant bin that it was in. I'm trying to find the middle here so I can lay these out. Okay, there we are. So here are my blocks. I've put all of the fabrics that we used from this project in here. So I have the rest of the gray, and I have all the rest of the fat quarters that we used throughout the quilt. So I'm hoping we can use these for both the back of the quilt and, you know, whatever we do for the front, the border and the sashing, all of that. So I'm thinking right off the bat that we would have a variety of stuff, a variety of fabrics, even though we already have a variety here, but I don't know, we'll figure out more. So ultimately we have 12 of these. So I'm thinking, you know, a traditional, like kind of a long quilt would be, we would do like maybe 3 by 4. I'll just show you guys all of them quick. I think these are sort of in order, maybe not quite in order. All right, so I'll just page through them here. So we got this guy. They're all different colors too, and the only thing that unifies them is that there's a little bit of gray in each one. This gray, that's kind of like this gray-purple stripe. But yeah, I mean, you can see, like, now we got a little applique going. Like, they're all just so different from each other. But I can't let these just lie around as blocks forever. So I thought, hey, these free weeks are a perfect time that we can kind of go through these. Oh, this is the one that I designed. So I had Tuscany here. That one had a lot of sashiko embroidery in. Lots of embroidery in some of these. Some paper piecing. I think this one was applique as well. Ooh, this one we did thread painting in applique. And then like strip pieced one. So all right, so those are all the blocks. So we do have kind of this running gray through it. And a lot of times the gray is on the outside. So I don't think it would be a horrible idea. I'm just going to grab, like literally I'm just grabbing a piece of fabric from here. So I think these are all like, once they're in the quilt, they'll be 12 inches. So that's just like 36 by 48 inches. That's not that big. So I do want to kind of make it bigger by adding sashing. And sashing is like the middle borders, the borders that go in between blocks. And then I think we'll want some sort of border around it too. So I'm just kind of, just to see what this looks like, I'm placing, you know, a colorful strip in the middle here. Then I'm wondering, you know, like what if we did a totally different, I'm just trying to think of how we can use up a lot of this fabric. So let me know if you guys did something like this, or some sort of piece for this too, or what you did for your quilt. So I'm just kind of brainstorming right now. We could, just to use up a lot of fabric, we could do like these big kind of fat sashing strips. So like, you know, like, I don't know, 3 inches. I mean, this might even be 4 inches. We could do just fat strips. And then maybe we could do like a pretty cornerstone, or maybe we do the cornerstone in our gray. I'm just trying to find that gray, you know. So it'd be kind of like so. We could also be like more decorative here. So Gretchen, we need to come up with a border too. One other thing I was thinking is that we could treat these little cornerstones. A cornerstone is a square that you put in between the sashing, so you have like a little squares in between your blocks, and it's called a cornerstone. You could do sashing where it's all like the same and it doesn't look like there's any cornerstones, but you know, there's opportunity for that. We could actually do like smaller blocks in here, like a little 4-inch block. If these are 4 inches wide, we could do a little 4-inch block, you know. So we could do, you know, like we could do a little 9 patch or a 4 patch or a half square triangle here. I mean, we really could do different ones for each. But I don't want it to compete so much if we're doing tons of color here too, so. Oh, Tracy's saying a scrappy border with cornerstones would be fun. So, I mean, that's the other thing. We could like sew strips of these together and kind of get like a little kind of patchworky vibe going. Like, what if, you know, it was just a bunch of, I like laying it out like this because you can kind of get a start of a picture, but what if it was just a bunch of strips all in a row? You know, maybe for the border. That actually that'd be kind of fun for the border, like a crazy bright border like that. I'm just trying to figure out what to do for the sashing too, because it's not like we have tons of fabric. If we use the fabric that I have, you know, this little bin full for the sashing, that means it's going to have to be a variety of colors. So, yeah, Sylvia's saying that's busy. I think for a border, that's okay. We could have a really busy border. This might just end up being crazy. But, you know, maybe that's okay. I'm going to just pull another piece out where I mean, there are a lot that have gray. But, like, for this one, for example, doesn't have gray right on the edge. So, I mean, is that weird with a different color strip right by it? You know, the other thing is we could pick, like, I could choose, like, maybe all the blues or something, because I'm sure I have, like, enough, you know, plenty of, like, a certain color, and then maybe the cornerstones could be, like, a brighter color. I don't really have, like, a ton of blues, because remember we switched colors? We switched colors with every single block, but I do have, like, maybe a bunch of cool tones that could be the inside pieces. You know, the other thing is we could just kind of wing it. So we could just take these, figure out how many we need. So let's just say we do them 4 inches, because then we can get this thing wider. I do have some paper and a pencil here too, so let's just get that out too. This is my process here. We like kind of plopping things out. Okay, so Sylvia's saying you can fussy pick the sashing, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. So, you know, let's just draw some squares. I'm gonna get down here for you guys too. Let's just take a look at this together. So we could do some squares. So this is, let's just kind of go like this. So let's say that's, you know, 3 squares, and then we could put like a big border around too. I kind of like these fat, because, okay, so this would be 12 inches, 12, 12, and if these are 4 inches, what are we at then? We got this would be 32, 44? Is that 44 inches? Yeah, I think so. 30, 32, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, so we're at, what did I say, 44 inches. So I'm just going to make a note, 44 inches. So let's just go this way too. So let's say those are 4 inches. Let's say we have some sort of cornerstone. That's those bits. So does anyone know, like, what's a good size lap quilt? Kimberly, I'm thinking of Kimberly saying, why a 4-inch sashing? That sounds big, and maybe we'll compete with the blocks. The reason I'm saying that, and it's not set in stone at all, is I need to add bulk to this somehow, because just the blocks next to each other are pretty small, and I want this to be, at least a good lap size quilt. Something that, I can lay underneath, right? I don't think I need to make a whole, like, queen size thing or anything like that. But something to lay underneath. So first of all, we need to know kind of like what we're shooting for. But I know I did lay these on the floor just next to each other, and it was so small. So we could add, okay, so Colleen's saying like 50 by 60, so that's kind of like a good lap size quilt. Colleen on Facebook. Alyssa's saying like about 40. Oh yeah, my math is 44 inches. Good. I'm gonna definitely 100% need some math help tonight for absolutely sure. All right. So yes, so that's the other thing. The other way we could get bulk is with border. So I do kind of want to put some sort of border. So it's just kind of what we want to do. So we could actually, we're just going to kind of doodle here. We could do skinnier sashing with like a bigger border. So that's an option. So we either have something that looks like this, where it's like not a lot in the middle and then a lot on the outside, or we have to spread out the blocks more and have a smaller border like this. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm just trying to decide, do I want to put emphasis on like the inside part, or do I want to put emphasis on the border? Because doing skinnier sashing definitely means a larger border, I think. And I'm not sure I don't know what I'm going to be doing for fabric, all that. You do a stop border, then a wide border. Oh, is that kind of like where I'd like not do the same width of the border all around? Is that, Tracy, I don't know what that means. Oh yes, Amy, congrats. Amy won the kit, and the kit of her choice, and those two curated floss collections. So if she's on here, I don't see her, but it sounds like you guys are talking to her. So direct message Jenna or me with your address and stuff, and we'll send it. Yep. Oh, good, Amy. So you are here. So yeah. So direct message us with an address. Okay. So Kimberly is saying, yeah, we could use different size borders. So like an example of that is like, if we wanted it longer, we could do it like this, like delete this stuff and just have the middle. I don't know if I like that in general. I'm going to be doing this on the I Love Home quilt, so I already have one like that. I don't know. With the big sashing, what I am thinking about is we could showcase the different fabrics again that kind of were in the quilt. And Sylvia, or I think said here, or something like that, or someone else mentioned we could curate it. So like, you know, if we know this block is here, we can decide exactly what fabric we want next to it. So we can kind of randomly cut. I'm just putting in different shades here to show that it would be kind of random. So that could be fun. And then all of these could be just solid gray. We might have enough for that. Or another thing we could do is like make these all into their own pattern, little blocks, like, you know, half square triangles somewhere and a little 4-patch and other ones. Although that might get a little weird if these are all bright and colorful, and I don't know, we don't have any contrast here. So Sylvia says she likes the blocks spread out. Lisa's saying make the sashing 4 inches and the outer border 6 inches. Oh, that gives us 56 inches. Okay, so that would kind of look like these proportions, which I'm not mad about at all. So this was 44 inches. So then this way would be 44, 46, 56. So it would be 44 by 56. With these numbers, I mean, I'm literally just threw these out. It can be whatever, but so this would be 44 inches by 56 inches. And if we're shooting for 50 by 60, you know, that can vary too. It can be kind of whatever, but if this is kind of what we're shooting for, then we're close. Yeah, so then we're 6 inches off here and like 4 inches off there. So yeah, so like if we did do 6 inches around, that would give us a little bit more length than width, which is great because, you know, John's taller. Longer quilts are just fine with me. Sylvia's asking, do I have enough gray strips fabric for the columns? By the columns, do you mean the squares in the middle? We should have enough for that. So I do have enough. I mean, we do have all this for the purple. It's not enough for a full border. It's not enough for all of the sashing, I don't think, but I think it would be enough for all of these. Yeah, I do kind of like this color. I know this is going to be a crazy, crazy busy quilt. But yeah, I don't know. So Becky says, look up Pat's video, then do that. So I think last I saw what Pat's doing, Pat Sloan, she's doing like an offset thing, right? So someone tell me if I'm close with this. All right, so I don't know. There's a space and another block and a space and a block. And then I think she has a little space in the middle here, and then she has like offset the 3 other blocks. I mean, this is fancy. I've never done anything like this, so I mean, that'd be kind of interesting too. It feels, I don't know, it doesn't feel quite like me, but maybe that's because I've never done it before. Oh, there's 4. Right, so she did some offset thing. Oh, I think she's also framing it in the color that we used for each block. And then I think in these sashings, I think she's doing some fancy little, like, putting squares and stuff here and there for that as well. But did anyone, I thought she put that on hold, or do you guys know if she's still doing this? Let me know. I have definitely not done anything this fancy for a quilt. And it's not really fancy, but it's just, there's kind of a lot going on. I wonder what she's doing with, like, these bottom, you know, because if it's offset, then we have, you know, areas that don't have anything in. I mean, this would definitely make it bigger because we're offsetting it. But you guys, I don't know. I just kind of like super traditional, just patchworky looking things like this. that's why I thought where we could get fancy is these little cornerstones. That, I mean, making fancy cornerstones would be still more than what I've ever done in a quilt before. Um, and again, so I mean, to me, the blocks, I could be totally wrong, and this is all up to anyone's interpretation, but like, I think keeping the setting a little simple is going to put emphasis on the blocks too. To me, this is kind of busy, so I don't know, but maybe from far away you'd be attracted to this a whole lot more than this. This would look like super boring from far away, but this is actually going to be in a show. This is going to be displayed for Aurifill, so maybe this needs to have a fancy setting like this because you're going to have to see it from far away and want to be like, ooh, what's that? Whereas that won't be the case with mine. Mine will be folded up and you'll want to just lay on it and be comfy. So I don't know. I think they serve two different purposes. But, this is actually kind of interesting, like all these little extra deals. So what if we did something like that? For some reason, I'm feeling the idea of doing like each one of these. There's only 6. Each one of the 6 cornerstones could be a different like simple block unit. We could just practice that sort of stuff. What's another one we could do? Like 4 corners with triangles, like little things like that. But I don't know how that will compete with this stuff here. So, boy. Ooh, window blocks. So Jenna, what are like I literally don't know all this stuff. So what are window blocks? Is that kind of where you put the little shadow thing here? I know that was like a thing. So it looks like, like if this is your block, you put a strip. How does that work? Oh, you do a square and then a strip and then another square and a strip. But like the impression is that it looks like it's like floating a little bit. Like it almost looks like a shadow of the block. That could be kind of fun too. I don't know. I'm kind of set on this. This is just so simple and silly. I don't know why. We should do though. Like I'm coming up with a new quilt design right now, and I think we should just draw out someday, kind of like what we're doing now, something super fancy, like something like offset, or maybe it's blocks but they're on a curve, or we should come up with like, I don't know, let's make a quilt that looks like this, right? Let's just draw out something crazy. And I think if we contrast some wacky design, but have really kind of like maybe solid colors or something clean to contrast the like busyness of the rest of it, like that could be kind of a fun project. Like we should on purpose make a wacky quilt or like a busy quilt, or an intricate, I don't know, that's none of those are quite the right words, but a setting that is kind of intricate for the sake of doing it. I think that would be neat, but I'm not sure that's this project. Okay, let's see. I think let's just have fun with this. We'll just cut some random. How many do we need? We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know there's a better way to count this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. Does that sound right? So 17 sashing pieces. Now I'm paranoid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so that's 17. I mean, yeah, there's other things we could do too, really. We could, I don't think I want to do this, but we could have a big centerpiece and all the blocks could go around. It could be something like that. There's so many ways to do a quilt setting, and I am totally being so, like, I guess, like vanilla with it. It'd be fun to do a quilt with the purpose of being crazy with the setting. I've never done that, so that'll be fun. Oh, Nolene's saying plain fabric for the contrast colors to shine. Oh yeah, for like this thing. So here's the problem is that all of our fabric that we have left is all crazy busy. So we can't like make all of these like a nice simple fabric and then these can be really fun because all the fabric is fun and crazy. So that's why I'm like, maybe we can kind of choose some colors that kind of feel close, that can maybe unify it. And then maybe what we do in here is the gray. We bring back the gray and then have like opposing colors. So like, let's say all of our sashing is like a cool blues and purples. And then what if our fun little guys here are the gray plus like some bright colors. So like the oranges and yellows. Then that would kind of show off these little things. And it would also bring in colors from the rest of the blocks. And then having these all kind of similar colors, not exact, but similar, like all the blues and purples, will kind of unify the sashing as well and make it not overpower the blacks. Okay, you guys, I think I like this. Oh, Catherine likes, I just like one design for the cornerstones, otherwise it might compete. The economy block would be nice. I don't, is the economy block just like the one? Well, so that's what I'm thinking with the color. We can try and make things not compete by choosing our colors well. This is already going to be a bright quilt. So it's going to have color. I really kind of wish we had enough gray for this border, because this is a lot of fabric here yet. So this is going to be a whole thing. I wonder how much we do have of this left. We do have a lot, but not for a whole border. But maybe we have enough for like a 2-inch border. So what if we could manage somehow a 2-inch border out of this gray? Including all of these little kind of pieces. I don't know if we'll manage that. But that could be neat. And then it'd be a little separation. I might have some other kind of close to gray stuff in here. So like all the grays could go into the border. And then we'd have 4 inches on the outside, which would mimic the 4 inches in here. God, we could just literally just piece, like kind of almost improv piece, different size strips and squares and stuff together of all the remaining fabric. Like we could literally just be that simple, just kind of cut everything into 4 inches and then just sew it together wherever it lies. I'm trying to be random here. That might work. Oh, that's a good idea. Jenna says put sashing and cornerstones on the outside of the blocks. You know, that might actually add a nice extra border. All right, we're gonna just refine this a little bit on another piece of paper here. Gosh, I'm not great at drawing these. I think we'll just draw lines this way. So this will be... Then we have a 4-inch. So 4 inches like this divided into thirds because this is 12 inches. So 4 inches about there. Another 12-inch. Another 4-inch. 12-inch. 4-inch. 12-inch. If we put more sashing. So we do, I like this idea of an extra sashing, an extra cornerstone, because it will kind of frame the inside a little bit more. I'm just laughing at my drawing because it's so like wiggly. But there, this is what what you're saying here, like add more to the outside. That will frame it even more. And we have so much of this fabric that might be just a good way to use it up. So then we're kind of like so. We're gonna extend those lines a bit here. There, and then we really, just to reach the number that we were kind of shooting for, the 50 by 60, it would be like by 62, we would just add 2 inches all the way around. You know, it might just be fine just like this, too. This could be it. It would be, this would be 4 inches shy. So this would be 56, oh no, 46 by, is that right? Well, it'd be 8, 16, 18, 20, 22, 52. Okay, this would be 52 by... Wait, is that 52? Then we have it. Then we're close, aren't we? So 12, 12, 12, that's 36. This is where I need the math help. So 36, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50, 52. Yeah, 52 by, and then another 12 would be 64, 68. So 52 by 68, we totally have it there. Do those triangle things all the way around. Can't think of what they're called. The triangle things. But this would be a fun way to do like some basic little blocks, like I just think that's fun, like this idea of like mini blocks in it. I kind of like that. I mean, this might be fine. Okay, Lisa's saying a square in a square is an economy block. Oh, that's kind of cool. So just like, you know, you do a square and then you do 2 things on the side, then 1 thing on top, kind of like that. That'd be fun. I mean, really, to do this 4-patch thing, we could just sew a strip together, but it is kind of fun. I like seeing the different guys in there. So here we'd have the opportunity to do a whole lot more. So so I do like this idea because it really is going to utilize our extra fabric, because like this is all our extra fabric, and I mean, we need to use it up in a way that makes sense. So we could, in theory, have a different one for each of these, which would be awesome. And then the little blocks in the middle. But maybe this can be all different colors, and this can just be, maybe this is just a fun, bright, like rainbow quilt. I mean, all of these are kind of colors. So let's just say, to think about it, what if these are all different colors? So there are some oranges, there are some blues, there are some other colors. Maybe that's fine. Oh, are you saying like an economy block would be like, so we could have all these bright colors, but then we could maybe go like this. Is this what you're saying? So then these cornerstones could have like a little gray border maybe, and then on the inside of that gray border, we could have like a little 2-inch block. So like if we do a 1-inch border around each of these. Wow, now I feel like we're getting a little fussy though. Then it would kind of separate that. Ugh, that's feeling fussy to me. I kind of like just leaving it. But all right, I kind of feel like this is a plan. So we could do a border. So we'll have a sashing, or not a sashing, a binding, so that will be a little bit of a visual border. We're going to need a back for this too. I'm hoping that there's enough fabric left over here that we can just kind of piece together a back as well. But yeah, I mean, we could still add, even like a 2-inch border. It probably makes sense to have a 4-inch border because we have 4 inches everywhere else. But a little 2-inch border could frame it up nicely. Sometimes I think borders just kind of hold things in a little bit, so I kind of like it. It's like a diamond in the center. You have it. Oh, is this a economy block? Is that what you guys are saying? Well, if that's the case, I did not know that. A square in the square. Oh, square in the square. Okay, you guys. This didn't even occur to me that this is a square in a square. To me, this is a square in a square. To me, these are like the triangle corners and, the diamond in the middle. But you're right, this is a square in a square. But this is a square in a square too, so which one is it? Oh, it's like the diamond in the center you have. Okay, so this is the economy block. Okay. I don't know. I know that this is called a half square triangle. This one is like a 4 patch. You got the 4. I know a log cabin. We could do one of those in here. I like my log cabins. So that would be something like so. Okay. Okay, I'm liking this. I'm liking the idea of basic. This is like a whole nother project. We can learn like all these like super basic blocks, which are also parts of blocks. Like all of these are like, they go into all of these bigger blocks. So this would be maybe an opportunity to learn some of those, and I can learn the names of them a little bit. That'd be good. We could maybe do 2 of each or 4 of each even. We could just pick some out. Let's just do a count here now. Where are we at with sashing pieces and stuff? So we have, oh my God, I'm going to have to count this out like a crazy person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Does that sound right? We went, man, from 17 to 31. That's quite a bit, but we have probably about 31 fabrics here. All right, and so it's 31 sashing pieces. Now we're going to figure out like some measurements here. We're going to live with this one for a little bit. Sashing is, okay, so there'll be 12, I'm going to write 12 by 4 inches, but I'm going to write cut. We need to add a 1/2 inch on all these so we can get a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around. So we're actually going to cut 12 and a half by 4 and a half. Okay, so 31 sashing pieces. Oh yeah, so these are 4-inch finished, smaller than the Splendid Sampler, but that's why we're keeping it simple. I don't want to do some crazy like mega thing in here. I want to do just like the simple. Okay, so now I don't know what the prairie points are. To me, prairie points are like when you put like those points on the edge of your design. Is that what you're talking about, Gina? Because actually, now that I'm drawing that in, that's awfully cute. We could actually do that for an edge instead, which I've never done before either. It's just a silly little fun, fancy thing. Anyway, we can make that decision later. We'll do that. We can decide. We can actually make this whole entire inside and then decide what we want to do for the border, so we can see how it feels at that point, which is kind of nice. And we can see what we have left over for fabric. Oh, Gina says yes with those colors. So I've never done that, and I'm drawing it, and it looks crazy cute. And it'd be just like a fun little detail. I don't know how to make those, so I can learn for sure. Oh god, how silly would that be? These fun little points all the way around. Okay, that idea is totally not on the cutting room floor yet. I'm leaving it here, but I'm gonna kind of keep that for we can see what we like about this. Finish this front first, but yeah, with all our this would be probably a good way to use up whatever scraps we have. I'm kind of digging that. It's silly and fun, and I think that's kind of what this quilt's going to end up being. All right, let's count the cornerstones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should have 20. 20 cornerstones. So they'll end up being 4 inches by 4 inches, and we're going to cut them at 4.5 by 4.5 inches. All right, and 20. That's the magic number. Oh, but we're not cutting those. Those will be weird blocks that we have to figure out. So we have to come up with 20 cornerstone designs. So we should just this would be good. You know what? Maybe we'll do a post in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group. To like, what are your favorite quilt blocks? Like simple quilt things, or just like, you know, just list them. Like list all of your favorite like little quilt little bits, and we'll look them all up. We'll pick 20 of them, and we'll just play around. We'll do one of those for each of these, and we'll just do one every once in a while during our Finish It Fridays and our free weeks, and soon we'll have like all the basics of all the building blocks of quilting, really. That's what these all are. They're the building blocks to these bigger blocks. So I like that. So what we could do right now, really, well, we don't have that much more time tonight, so we'll probably end it with, you know, decisions being made, which is great, but we could pick some colors out. We could pick our 31 pieces that we'll use for the sashing, and then tomorrow we can cut those up. I mean, that's something we can do already. And I don't know if we want to decide. We literally could decide what rows they go in already too. But I think what we'll do instead is we'll cut up all the fabric, and then I'll post, like tomorrow I'll post. We'll get an idea of what we want to do for these cornerstones. I'll post that in the group. And then tomorrow night, we'll cut up these pieces, and then we could make a couple, or at least one. We can make one or a couple of these simple blocks. We can look them up for how to do what's a 4-inch cut to 4.5-inch, square the measurements for some of these things, and let's make it. I like it. Okay, so again, the plan is right now we'll dig through my fabrics a little bit, and we'll just pick out around 31. We could really just pick out 15 and then double them up too, but we'll just see. We'll see what we want. So we'll have those picked, and then tomorrow we will cut them all up into the 12.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles, and then they'll be done. They'll just be out of the way. That project will be done. That will reveal the fabric that we have left over, because I think we'll still have a lot of all that fabric. And then from that, we can start making these, and the constant with these I still think will be the gray. So we won't use any gray in the sashing, but we'll use gray for sure for the block in the middle, plus like one other color. So, gray and like the orange will go together, or maybe some of these blocks will require more, so it'll be gray plus whatever colors. This is fun, and then we'll lay it all out at some point. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So Gina's saying you need to decide on the block placement. So I'm thinking we don't sew anything together until we have all of these guys, all the cornerstones done. And then we'll have a whole big thing. We'll lay it out on the floor, and then we can rearrange and get it all perfect. And then we can sew the whole thing together, versus sewing it into little parts. Like I could sew all these guys together all at once and have them sit around, but then I wouldn't know what cornerstones go with them. So I think we'll cut all these pieces, put them to the side, cut all these or make these squares, put those to the side, and then rearrange the whole thing, and then we can decide where they all go. I don't think they necessarily need to be in order. It'll be a whole big shindig of putting them together. So I like this. And then when that's done, we'll sew it together, and then we can make decisions like these prairie points here, which would be so silly fun. I'm kind of pretty excited about that, actually. And, you know, we need a back for this, too. So after we're done with this, we can kind of assess what we have left for fabric and kind of shimmy it together for a back as well. Okay, I like it. Let's do it. Let's get up here a little bit. I want to just kind of see what fabric I have again. But I like this plan. This is fun. So this is totally how I go about designing. I appreciate you guys just helping me with this and playing around with me here as we just kind of brainstorm through this. But yeah, so I need to keep these near me. I haven't cleaned up from last night yet either. So I for sure want to save this. We don't want to use this for the borders. This will be for, or the sashing, I mean, it'll be for those cornerstones. So I want to make sure that that's saved and I don't use it up. Let's move these guys out of the way here. So what we have for fabric, let's just get this whole puppy out here. Do we even have 31? You know, they could all be different, but they for sure wouldn't have to. But now I'm just curious, do we even have 31 different fabrics here? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, we for sure are going to. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I don't think that's a thing. 28, 29, 30. That's not going to get us far. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. And, I mean, we might not be able to get a 12-inch strip out of all these. Like, this does not have a 4-inch by 12-inch strip available, so some of these are going to go away for sure. But I'm liking it. Like, okay, so what if we did still try and think about it as cool colors for the border or the sashing, and then, like, warm colors with the gray? I mean, that, I think, is maybe still an option. I just kind of want to... I'm going to divide this right now into what I'm kind of thinking as cool colors and warm colors, and colors I'm just not really that sure about. And, these grays and blacks I'm going to just set aside, because those might be just too close to the gray in the middle. But maybe we can bring them back. This one's kind of all over the place too, so we could... I mean, this isn't... I'm just, like, literally just kind of... I don't know where these whites would go. I'm just kind of putting them with these. I just want to see, do we have the quantity of colors if we did want to just do a certain, grouping of color for the background. Okay. I suppose this would maybe go here. It's got some blue in. We do have a lot of oranges and warm colors, don't we? I mean, we could do those in the background. I don't know where I'd place these quite yet. These greens could go here. Wow, I think we have more warm colors than I thought. Alright, all these pretty blues. This, I don't think is big enough, but we have the other one here. These are pretty cool. Green. I don't know about that brown. Okay, to me, these are kind of how this would live. We got like this group, and then we got this group if we're thinking warms and cools. There's clearly a lot more of these, so maybe this could be our sashing, and then the inside corners that we do all pretty with the gray. I mean, the blue would look really pretty with all these grays. So it would be kind of like, it would be this gray with all of these for the blocks, and then these for all the borders, or the sashing. Or we can do a whole mix and match. So I'm not sure. We can either have it truly rainbowy with like all of them just completely random, and there's lights and darks and cools and warms all over the place, or we could separate them, which might look more controlled, which maybe we want that? I don't know. Let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so we're not going to have 30 of these, so maybe we do just still rainbow it. Maybe we just still do a rainbow. I think that's cool. I know. So this is our whole quilt, right? It's all of these colors. And actually, now that I kind of smashed these together, I think I like it all rainbowy. I think I like it all mixed together. I want to see all these colors. You know? I think we mix them. So we'll just have to kind of pull out ones that maybe don't quite fit. Like, I don't know, maybe we don't want this dark gray because it's too close to this. Maybe we just get rid of all the grays. Let's just have it be bright, bright. Maybe we don't need, like, maybe this guy's not here. Maybe we stick to, like, true feelings of color. So we get rid of kind of the white ones. You know, some of these, so these two are what I used in my original quilt. I think this one too. So these three are the ones that I was given for to do the original quilt that I actually sent to Pat Sloan. So these are not in my quilt. So I think what would happen if we got rid of those, even though they're really bright and fun. But this I think reflects our quilt a little bit more. So let's now what are we to? 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. 26. Oh, maybe we do add some more of this back. 26. This I don't think is big enough. Let's add these. 26, 27, 28, just because they're so bright and I like them. 28. 29. 30. 31. I think maybe I like this guy better than this guy. All right, well, this is 31 right here. So if it's all mix and matched, then this is kind of what the sashing will look like, which maybe is fun. I think it's a reflection of the quilt. I kind of like it. All right, I think this is it, you guys. So I'm going to flip around here. So, all right, so let me know if this is just going to be crazy. I mean, I think I can probably, maybe I'll do this tomorrow. This is a theory, right? We're going on theory. That's everything we do here is just testing a theory. So, the theory right now is that this isn't going to look totally crazy and it's going to be fun and playful. So, one thing we can do just to kind of see, I could lay this out on the floor tomorrow and just kind of throw these in the middle, like kind of get them to the proportion of, you know, like a 4-inch by 12-inch deal and just kind of place them. And then I think we'll really actually get a sense of it. You know, we won't have the cornerstones, like what would go there. but maybe it's worth kind of laying it out tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that. Jenna thinks it's too much. Nora says like it. Oh, Amy says lay it out. It might be a tad busy. Yep, that's. I think it might be busy, but I think it might be busy in kind of an okay way. I think maybe in a way that still shows off the pieces. So that's the test. So let's. I will lay this out tomorrow and take a picture, and I'll. Depending on what time I do that, I'll post it in the group, and we can just kind of take a look at it. So yeah, we'll take a look, and then if it's a go, then tomorrow we can start cutting them. If not, we'll either quit or go back to the drawing board. So, all right. But I think we got a start of a theory. So we'll see how it plays out a little bit. So awesome, you guys. This was fun. I know this is just watching me with just the piece of paper and the pencil, just kind of like working it out. But your suggestions are so helpful, and I think it'll be fun. There's a good plan, sleep on it. Yep. I do think laying it out, this will be an easy thing to lay out. Not too tedious to lay out, so I think that will kind of give us a vibe of it at least. We'll get kind of a little pre-visual of it, and I think that'll be helpful. I'll try and keep it random, because that's kind of, I think, the look. And we'll see. We'll just see. Might be something, might be nothing. All right, you guys. So that'll happen tomorrow, and then we'll get back to it. So I will see you tomorrow here on YouTube and Facebook, 8:30 p.m. Central Time. This will be fun. Thanks for hanging out with me again tonight. This was great. All right. Have a great evening, guys. Good night.